Y'all don't know about this kind of music. Y'all don't know about this jazz. What is happening, everybody? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Um, Hope all is well with you guys. Hope you guys are staying safe. A lot of events are happening. That's not too much in our favor. Um, Anyhow, but we have like a extremely, very special guest here. And I can't believe I have him due to you know, all the different events that we all been going through lately. So I am very blessed. But we're gonna get it going here, um, and I guess when we're at the end, we can do some Q&A. But also, he has a Cash App up top. So click on that Cash App and give some donations. Also, other information is available in the description box. So we're going to bring this brother up. Without any further ado, we have the great Dr. Randy Short. What is going on, good brother?
I'm good. Can you see my avatar?
No, it's blank.
Oh my God, I put a picture up there. I put a picture up there too. At
Uh,
least I thought I cut it and loaded it.
oh, okay. Well,
Let's see. Hold on one second.
okay. So those people here, I'm just not people's favorite. So please hit that like button so I can get some new friends and some new subscribers. I got about 60 something, and I'll make $2,000 after all this time. So keep that in mind while Dr. Short is getting his stuff together.
I'm going to send you a picture. How about that? Can I send you a picture?
Sure. I'm not sure whether or not if I can do anything.
Yeah, you can. You can do something. You can post it.
In your avatar area?
Not my avatar, but just post it. If people have to see a different picture of me, I have a picture.
Okay.
I just sent it to you.
All right. Let me see how I can work this out. I don't know how to. I think. Let me see. Did you text it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it should be coming shortly. It might not come while you're on the phone, but
Oh, would you want me to hang up?
it's up to you. I have your thumbnail in the background anyway. But
Well,
do you see it on the screen? Let's see. Let me try something. Yeah, that's the best I can do on this. The thumb, Yeah, your thumbnail is on the screen there. I guess he's gonna. Dr. Short gotta outdo himself, huh? Um. Anyhow, again, please hit that like button, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys coming here. We got 12 in the building. We have AB Media in the building. We have AL Evans in the building. T. Riddler. We have Aria known as Fitness Mom. We got DJ B Side 1965. We have
avatar in. That's why I can't do it. You have to log in. I don't have an account on StreamYard yet. That's something I'll do this week.
oh, I didn't know you had to have an account.
Yep, that's what it's saying to me when I tried to put that.
Yeah, maybe they made some changes.
But they're greedy. They got to get their money.
I know, huh? They started off, free and all that. So that's how they get. That's how they get you anyway.
Well, that's how people get you on drugs and on coochie.
Yeah, first
They give
one's
you-
free.
Yeah,
Next,
well, actually, not for coochie. You always have to pay for it unless you're an athlete or a musician. You probably know about that.
yeah, there's some kind of price in there. Um, Shout out to King Wade. Shout out to Mr. Coakley too. Shout out to Monique Hill, my sister. Shout out to one of my partners in crime, the second one that showed up, Shonda
Mhm.
H. Shout out to I'm listening. Shout out to, I think that's everyone. She
Hmm.
said, Shonda said you can post without a StreamYard account. Try resending him the link. Really?
Well, we won't do that. We'll just go forward with the ugly picture that you got up there. Um,
Okay. Well, it's covered, right?
yeah, yeah, it's covered. It's covered. We're not going to complain. There's much to talk about.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the questions here and then we'll work our way to the current events. Because usually when I go on, the numbers go up a little bit, like after
Mhm.
30 minutes or so. So
Right.
I got
And
used to
we'll finish about 8:30.
what's that? What time is
8,
that here? Let me see.
8:30,
Right. What time is it now over there? Is it seven? Seven?
7:15.
Okay, so we got an hour. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay.
Right. You think that's long enough? Because I know my mother wants to see Gaslit. Yeah,
Okay.
Julia Roberts thing with the white woman with the big mouth that the husband killed. It's
Mm,
a really good show. I
okay.
mean, it's wonderful. Learning about the white family.
Hey, I'm in
Hmm.
California. You know how it goes here. Uh,
Well,
so for those people that have been sleeping under a rock, tell us a little bit about Dr. Randy Short.
real simple. I'm a DC native. I am a writer, historian, human rights activist. Uh, I'm sort of like a Afrocentric Forrest Gump. You know, I went to school with the woman married to the White House press secretary, the woman, the lesbian that's married to the little Haitian broad with the nappy hair. I
Mm,
went to school with Obama, went to school with Kamala, went to school with OJ's daughter. My God. I mean, when I went to school with Jesse Jackson's daughter, Jesse Jackson's son. Uh, just through life, I've met everybody. I mean, I know some folk in various families, some of Malcolm's kids, some of the relatives of Dr. King. I've sort of just floated around, been consultant, done stuff with NACP, National Urban League, National Rainbow Coalition, the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, been a missionary with the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, just floated around just a lot of different things. Been involved in political campaigns, been a political strategist. Of course, I mentioned
hmm
that, I've written for various, not consistently, but I'm one of the founders of Black Agenda Report. Oh, wow. Just nothing's quite completely hit yet, but lots. I mean, been everywhere, everything, some degree.
Right.
Been in a Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I've been around a little bit. Million Woman March stuff. An organizer for the Million Youth Movement in the '90s. Hmm. Was a trustee at Howard University. Knew Stokely Carmichael, C.T. Vivian, James Farmer. So I've crossed or been involved with or done this. John Lewis. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that I necessarily love everybody. I'm just crossing path. C. Dolores Tucker. Oh wow, God. Helped inspire Kanye West. I mean that. Brokered a deal between him and his dad for his dad to support him going into the business. I just been around a little bit. Co-wrote with the Queen of the Blues, Denise LaSalle. Lived with them for a while. Buddies with Dave Chappelle's mommy. Um, Just a little bit. So just kind of, I grew up around Howard's campus, so I'm a preacher's kid who has been around, world traveler, been to about 17, 18 countries in Africa, 12 countries in Europe. I like Brazil, Cuba, Mexico, Canada, Australia, Iran, Qatar. You get where I'm coming from. South Korea. Been
Mm-hmm.
around a little bit. Been around a little bit. And been an advocate for all kinds of things. National Coalition of Adoption Programs, the Rebecca Project for Justice and Human Rights, as an advocate for human rights for Black women. Oh, wow. Was one of the original writers for the Trans Africa Forum. So lots of pieces here and there. I started the Stop the Genocide movement in Darfur in 2004, working with Martin Luther King's lieutenant, Reverend Walter Fauntroy, former congressman for D.C. I helped counter the effort to legalize pedophilia, H.R. 2282, which became H.R. 5. And I could go on and on. I mean, not that it's been a whole lot of money or anything. I've worked with was an advocate for the Sudanese lost boy refugees. Worked with various communities, Afro-Brazilian, Oromos from Ethiopia, former board member of the Friends of the Congo, Fight for Human Rights in Congo. And of course, worked on lots of political campaigns here in the U.S. So roundabout.
Wow. So that's quite a plethora of things. I know there's more in addition.
Yeah, there's more. I mean, no, I'm not rich. Not powerful. Just a person interested in the survival of my people. And I guess there's more, but just a lot of things you do is just life. If you're involved, you meet, you do, you help, you try to. And what I could say now is I'm senior leader, or I guess people might say pastor, for a group called SALT, which stands for Salvation and Liberation Temple Ministries. It's like we're a Black Christian nationalist church here in DC. And in the tradition of Nat Turner and other people. And wow, I could say a little bit more, but just I'm I'm concerned. I put you like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well educated, well traveled, concerned. I got good credentials.
Yeah, I definitely know that for a fact, and I hope people understand, especially when they Google your name, a lot of stuff pop up.
A lot of stuff. Oh, and yeah, I'm a political commentator. I've been on Russia Today, Press TV, been on different Middle Eastern and European stations. I think I'm in trouble in the United States. And oh God, I've done television and stuff in South Africa a long, long time ago, in Niger and Senegal. Work with the Black people in India for a while, the Dalit movement. So it's stuff. And right now, I'm doing SALT, and what I just do from my house, although it's going to expand with your help, brother, with some logos and some artwork. Coon busters, trying to get Black people to hold Black traitors accountable. We need to go after coons. Coons need to be exposed. We may not put our hands on people, but We need to make Black people that betray us pay. It shouldn't be easy to stab Black men, women, and children in the back.
Mm.
Last but not least, I'm an anti-eugenics activist. I hate abortion. I hate Planned Parenthood. I hate the Guttmacher Institute. I don't like anything that's trying to cut down on Black life. And pretty soon, I'm looking to get with folks to start broadcasting, I guess through a medium like StreamYard, but Blog Talk and others. I've done all kinds of things. I'm not a star or anything like that, but I'm around a little bit.
That's an understatement.
No, I'm not a star. It's not about celebrity. I want to make this clear. If I'm 57 and it's only been the last 10 years I've been speaking out publicly, it means that for a long time I worked behind other people. I wanted other people to be the face of stuff. I get assassination. I've seen people, there was a lady named Yolanda that was an activist I used to see as a kid, and the people blew her brains out in Southeast DC for trying to help poor Black people. I get that you can get killed if you challenge or speak up to stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know people from Dr. King's family. I know people from Malcolm X's family. I used to work with Medgar Evers' wife. I get that people can just hurt you if they don't like you. I don't want to be the focus of that kind of hate, although, you hate it anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no desire to be the leader or the face of it. But what happened, my friend, is that I noticed that people wouldn't speak to practically anything, no matter what. I mean, our people don't have anybody saying nothing. I mean, like they could, I'll give you an example. When Trayvon Martin got killed, murdered,
Mm-hmm.
that story percolated for a while, but nobody broke it. Where's that fat jack-o'-lantern looking nigga, Roland Martin? Where are these people, man? When something like this happens to us, it's not going to hurt them. It's not going to decrease their sperm count or their bank balance to speak up when somebody poor and Black gets hurt or destroyed. That's what you get the damn publicity and the fame for, is to help somebody else. You get me?
Right. Right.
So just take the case of Trayvon Martin. That story percolated off the radar largely for weeks. I got angry because I'm like, damn, why isn't this bigger? I don't have a radio station or TV. I would just do it. You get where I'm coming from?
Right.
Because, something I need to say. I grew up initially in a very super racist area, southwest of DC, where people really let you know that Black people all deserve to be killed. That's the kind of people I grew up with. I mean, you know, if you touched a white kid's hand, the family would move just to keep their kids from Black people. That's how much they hated us, right?
Mm-hmm.
If their kid had a fight with you and the white kid lost, the family would move. They couldn't face their kid losing a fight to a nigger, even if the nigger was defending himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of from an early age learned people really don't like Black people. And what I learned over time is that Black people really don't like themselves. So we're in a really tight spot. But those of us who do not hate who we are, where we come from, we got a double battle. We got to fight all the other people that are honorary whites and others who hate our guts. And then we got to fight our coons. And I've been in a struggle with coons. and racist my whole life and varying battles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, back to Trayvon Martin. I was so mad that they wouldn't do anything. I called a friend of mine over in the Middle East, and I told them, you want a story that will blow up your damn channel, your platform, and that if we put it in the news, you would have Black people acting out in 50 or more major cities. And she says, yeah, I'd like to do that because she's over in Iran, and Iran's always trying to do something to get back at the U.S. for what the U.S. does to them. I, she says, well, how will we do that? I says, the name is Trayvon Martin. If you start talking about Trayvon Martin in major rotation, because you've got a following in Europe, it will force the American media to put Trayvon Martin stuff on television that they've been ignoring. So my friend started spinning it. By Saturday, 6 days after, 7 days after I told her about this, you had protests in 50 cities in the country around Trayvon Martin because it broke into the mainstream news about Monday after the Iranians and the Arabs and other people were spinning it and it was spent in Europe. The American media was forced to pick it up. Okay, there's a group I'm involved with that helped expose the Rodney King beating is called the International Human Rights Association of American Minorities. My mentor, who is a Muslim, who ran the Organization of African American Unity in Canada for Malcolm X, is my mentor. They're the ones that got the Chinese to blackmail George Bush Sr. into making China get most favored nations trading status to keep there from being a vote at the UN about brutality against Black people, in particular the case of Rodney King. And so this is sort of why you'll hear me say international stuff. Black people have to use, like Malcolm X and like Paul Robeson and others, you got to use all kinds of things to force stuff out when you have a hostile media or you got a boule, sellout, coon, traitor leadership like we have. So my friends in Iran and in other places put Trayvon Martin out, and it blew up in the United States. It hasn't been the same since in 10 years. There are things like that I've done. It's not like you get money or anything, and it may not be written in a book, but I have a great degree of satisfaction that I was at the protest with about 10,000 people in DC exactly 6 days after I set some stuff in motion with my partner in crime, Marthia Hashemi, a sister from New Orleans who lives in Iran because they caused her husband to die in Aurora, Colorado. So, yeah, I've been involved with certain things, that have done stuff. So when you're out and you try to do what you can for your people, it's not always that you get money or famous or rich. Beware of people. Beware of people that need a jet or need 7-figure salaries and to be on all the news shows in order to do something for Black people. I did something else in '97. I helped take down no good nigger preacher that was running the National Baptist Convention USA. I helped do research for basically the white media to go after Henry Lyons, a nigga that was smoking weed with his mistress, stealing money from the largest Black church denomination in the country. And other things. It often doesn't get you any money or people don't know you. And by the way, I was doing stuff like this from the 80s into like 2010. I didn't have my name out there.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point, nobody'd speak up. I didn't see people saying stuff. And taking stuff, I would take information to people, important Black people, and hope they'd do something about it, and they didn't. So I says, well, do the little bit you can, then your ass be out there. You talk. You tell people stuff. You explain things. Um, and to some degree, on a small basis, it's made a difference.
Mm.
Not a big difference. If there were lots of more people like myself, we could come together. My God, we could really do something. You
Yeah.
know, I'm trying to help my friend who's was Martin Luther King's bodyguard. I think I was telling you about him, Ray Fontroy, that
Right.
little crooked nigger preacher at New Bethel Baptist Church. He wants to make all these black seniors homeless by giving this prime real estate to white developers for practically nothing and putting these old black people out in the street. And, you know, I just had heart surgery. I've been in bed all day, but I just can't accept that they're going to do this to old black people that served their time. I got to hurt this preacher somehow.
Mm.
Do something to mess him up,
Yeah, I hear you.
mess up what they're doing.
I hear
Uh,
you. So take a little break for a second, Miss Dr. Short. We're going to tell everybody to hit the like button, share and subscribe. You know, click on Dr. Short's Cash App. You know, he's putting in this time here to bring this message to the people here. Um, and go ahead, Dr. Short, unless you want me
so
to go on to the next question.
there are other things I was able to. There's a group called Friends of the Congo. I don't like violence against women. I have real problems. I saw a woman, girl I saw when I was young. They got her hooked on drugs. Then they murdered her when she was pregnant with her baby. And I saw the man beating her. I couldn't do anything. I was about 4, right? This is like 69. And I remember him threatening to kill her. I couldn't talk then, so I couldn't scream. Well, I could scream, but no one understand what I'm screaming about. And then this man shot her to death the same place a few weeks later. And I don't know, I developed a hatred of men that mistreat women from 4. And so that's why you'll see me involved in stuff around how women are treated. I can't get that out my head. This man beating this girl that he got pregnant, hooked on drugs, tricked her out, and then he kills her and the baby too.
This in
So,
DC.
huh?
This is in DC.
Yeah, this is DC. I mean, this should be called District of Caligula, Dick City, Death City, Dumb City. DC has so many, you know, because they have the federal government and they got these jobs, you got a really fake coon culture. Not everybody. A lot of people aren't really from DC. They come here. I mean, this city brings in coons like your Los Angeles brings in illegals. So we don't just have our own coons. We have coons from all over the world. It's like a damn mega market for sellout niggas here.
Hmm.
I'm an unusual person. I was born in DC. My family's from DC. At least my mother's family has been in DC for over 200 years, right? Not that I'm tripping off of DC. I'm just saying when you come here, you won't meet many people that are really DC people. They're like from someplace else. They came in for a job or they're sleeping with somebody, whatever. And yeah, DC is like a very creepy, wicked, Masonic, boule city. That's why Jesse and all these people have a house here. Even punk ass Obama has a house here. It's easier for him to have his double life with his macho wacho wife here in DC than in Chicago. And as pro gay as Hawaii is, he's not even there. Maybe it's cheaper to have a house here.
Hmm.
It's just, yeah, but hold on what I'm saying. Uh, uh, what I'm saying is about Congo. I was able to get people in the Congressional Black Caucus to start taking a stand against the mass rape of Black women in Congo. You know, they had a civil war there going on since the 90s. 6, 7, 8 million people have died. They just systematically, I've been to Congo, they just rape women, rip them. It's horrible, man. And you don't even get this stuff halfway dealt with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other things, you know, so over in life, when I've been able to do something, I did, you know, I helped get the Congressional Black Caucus to start speaking up for Blacks in Latin America. One of my associates was governor of a state in Colombia called Choco. They were going to deport him back and they were going to kill his wife and kids and him. Because I was able to get intervention, the family got saved. And that wasn't the first time. One of my dad's friends was a prince from Uganda, and the president of a dictator of Uganda worked some way to get this man to be forced to come back to Uganda. They're going to make him come back and they're going to kill him in the airport and in Entebbe. And because I was buddies with this judge that the courthouse is named for in D.C., Judge Luke C. Moore was a buddy of mine. They blocked the deportation. Otherwise, my friend and his family would have been killed, like Hotel Rwanda style.
Mm.
And that was in 81. And that's like the first time I realized, you know, I could make a phone call and help somebody. I could literally save a life by leveraging relationships, networks. What happened, I'll never forget it. Wow, it's like 41 years ago. My parents, I'm on the phone talking to the judge who was cool. We were just cool. And I hear this guy whose name is Patrick from Uganda. He's crying at our dining room table. And I come in to see because it's adult speaking, and my parents are old school. Mind your business when you're younger, leave us alone. But I want to know why he's crying. And my father basically said, well, he only has another day to live. I says, well, why would you say that? He says, well, he's going to be sent to his country and he's going to be killed. I says, he doesn't have to go back to his country. He says, well, they've got a court order. I says, well, why don't you reverse the court order? My father says, well, you need to have a judge reverse the court order. I says, well, I mean, I know a judge. My father says, you know a judge? No, you don't. I says, yeah, I was just on the phone with him for an hour. We're cool. So my father demanded that I bring the phone book and show me the man's number in the phone book. So I did. And when we looked in the phone book, it only had his phone number. It didn't have his address. And I says, my dad said, there's no address. I says, Dad, don't be stupid. They don't put judges' addresses in the phone book. So my father called the judge, and the judge stayed the deportation for Patrick Bugembe, a prince of the Buganda people, and he, his wife, and kids didn't get slaughtered because I could call my judge friend at midnight and ask for a favor. I was 16. I says, wow, this is incredible what we can do if we leverage our relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I can make a difference. I saved 4 people with the phone call.
So, Dr. Short, and for those people out there, just remind you guys, hit that like button, share, and subscribe, and hit that Cash App at the top of the chat box there. You know, show some love to Dr. Short. He's donating his, you know, precious time. Gosh. So, Dr. Short, do you have any kind of like political positions or leanings that you want to share with us?
Well, I sort of, I have to say this, I'm a Christian and not a coon Christian. So I don't believe in a little punk L'Oreal faggoty white Jesus who wants Black people to just be destroyed by white people and we're all drink milk and honey in the segregated quarters of heaven. I don't believe in that. But I believe in God. I believe that God is a liberator of Black people. Black folk are a chosen people, and we got to clean our crap up. And racism is an excuse for us to abort each other, kill each other, rape each other, lie on each other, sell dope to each other, give our money and patronize other people, and divest from one another. Real relationship with God means you live a decent life. You will stand up for your people, fight for your people. You don't hate anybody else, but you definitely love God and your people first, and then you love everybody else. And anybody that don't love you, you put them in check. Uh, I'm a little into genealogy because my cousin's the mother of Black genealogy. She's a woman, Madam Thelma Short Doswell is the mother of Black genealogy. I grew up very close to my cousin, and things that she would teach me, like how Nat Turner was related to us, and I'm finding that there's some truth to it. And so I don't know. I come from 400 years of Black people who are either Maroons or preachers or educators or fighters. I mean, just that's what we're about. That's what we've been doing. Our families from like the Dismal Swamp down in Virginia, where the Black people refused to be slaves for hundreds of years. Plus, they're part Indian too. I mean, uh, Nottoway, Piscataway. Uh, that's something I'm interested in. I know folk don't like it. I had some Negro tell me, "Stop talking about being Cherokee." I never talked about being Cherokee. I mentioned being Piscataway. Uh, I mentioned that's a fact because that's what my great grandmother was. I mean, what am I supposed to do? And by the way, claiming indigenous heritage because they were Black people here before white folks came. I'm not rejecting Africa. Didn't you hear me? I've been to South Africa. I've been to Cape Verde. I've been to Libya, Tunisia, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Congo, Nigeria, Niger, Togo, Ghana, Upper Volta, or should I say Burkina Faso, been to Mali, been to Senegambia. You get where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I named everything. And what I'm working with the liberation movement in Mauritania. You get where I'm coming from. I've been all over. I work with people from Somalia, right?
Right.
My business partners in Mozambique. You follow me?
Yes.
I like Africa. I support the people in. I've got a buddy I want to do work with in Cameroon. And I'm working with the liberation movement in Ivory Coast. I don't hate Africa, but I've got to tell you, I was watching Unsung last night, and I really felt for Bobby DeBarge and one of them, Randy DeBarge. They were talking about how they were trying to make their hair into an afro because they were mixed with white, their father, and they're trying to fit in. And it made me feel kind of good because, one, my hair doesn't grow like my cousins who don't have the same mix as I do because of my mother's family. You know, I couldn't get my hair to grow afro like I like Black stuff. I like jet black. I think the most pretty people in the world are jet Black people. Your hair could be as curly as you want. That's your hair. I like it. I didn't have hair like that. I remember trying to put stuff in my hair so it would clump up so I could have whatever's supposed to be Black hair. And it usually didn't work. The best thing I could do is like not comb my hair, put lots of water and Vitalis and let my hair get thick. Then I could sort of have a bush because I don't have whatever these people are talking about, this nappy kind of hair, which I didn't see as bad. I didn't have it. My cousins could do that. I couldn't do it. It didn't look good. It didn't work. My hair is stringy like Don King because the people that we come from in Africa that are what Hausa, Fulani, Bimba, they've got stringy hair. It's not like the hair people stereotypically claim all black people have. So you know what I'm saying? But so all I had to do is look at my grandfather, who looked like a cross between Mao Zedong and Khrushchev for Russia, and he has straight black hair. I mean, what? That's not an African, brother. I thought he was Chinese. I told everybody my family's Chinese and black. No, your family's Native American and black.
Mm.
You get, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not throwing anybody away. I'm claiming all of it. So that's part of my thing is I support the Aboriginal Liberation Movement. These are people who can trace that their family were black people here before white folks came. And those treaties that these white people made with our ancestors, this land is ours. Okay. Now I'm conservative. I hate abortion. Abortion's murder. I don't. Best birth control is abstinence. You know, uh, my thing is I don't like the Democratic Party. Black people have become basically the dick ring of the gays, illegals, and Zionists and others, and there's nothing in it for us. The Republican Party isn't. It was created, I guess, on a certain level to do certain things that blacks could stand to benefit from, but it's a rich white people's party. But they do things that we benefit from, like keeping the foreign invaders out of this country. They need to build a wall, a moat, put some damn alligators and piranhas in that bitch. We're being overrun by this. I mean, you're in California. I don't have to tell you. That's outrageous that you have black people in Skid Row who've given to the system, black veterans who fought wars, and yet an illegal can get Section 8 before a black veteran. How do y'all stand for that out in California? I hope they get an earthquake. I mean, it's outrageous. So I want black people to have dignity, self-respect, some control over some land. I like reparations, but with a whole lot of strings attached to how the resources are used to repair our people. Reparative justice is important. I think we should work with people from Africa and the Caribbean. However, I sort of like Tariq and this foundational Black American movement for us to recognize that we're people, we're unique people. My family's been, I can document various parts of my family's been documented to be in the United States since the 1600s. And I'm not certain that the people that I'm talking about were white, but some were, and that goes all the way back. So my mother's grandfather in 1620 is a guy named John Lancaster that comes from England in 1620. And the first free black person that I can document is Thomas Lancaster, born in 1796. So, yeah, my family was free before the Civil War, maybe free at the time of the American Revolution, but still, we're a people. We're a people. And we are people. We need land. We need decent representation. We should protect ourselves. I agree with Malcolm X. Be nonviolent with people that are nonviolent with us. We should have community control. And again, we should work with anybody that will work with us. That includes white folks that aren't trying to take over our sovereign institutions that serve us. You can love yourself for being whatever you are without hating anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I consider myself a kind of conservative, a Christian conservative Black nationalist. I don't like communism. I think it's bullshit. I don't like atheism. For Black people to say there's no God, they're dumbasses. What's keeping these people who hate our guts from killing us like that bastard in the supermarket in Buffalo? That's how the people really feel. I grew up with people like the dude. I knew that was a racial massacre. When I saw they took him alive, I said, "Oh God, they killed a bunch of black people in the store." I grew up with people like the guy that shot the people in the store. I'm telling you, the Nazi Party was based in Northern Virginia. We used to get calls from the Nazis in the '60s. I mean, when Dr. King got killed, I think people threatened to kill our whole family, burn us up. It's no joke. It's no joke. Our people have to be vigilant. I believe in the Second Amendment and then some.
Mm-hmm.
We should support each other. I also, I'm gonna just say this. You don't even have to be married or in a relationship, but God made man and woman. I'm not down with this LGBTQ trans bullshit. It's killing us as a people. We don't need it. Uh, and you don't need a movement to suck a dick if you're a sissy or munch carpet if you're a stud. People have always done that. They probably did on the slave ship if they could get the chains out the way. It's that has nothing to do with our people being liberated. And we need to fight against them. Black Lives Matter is a scam. The Congressional Black Circus is a scam. The Black Church, for the most part, little lying niggas, it's a scam. Like you saw Jamal Bryant uh, needs to pay his damn taxes. You see the AME Church, little crooked niggas stole all the retirement money from the workers in the church. Black people need a reformation of spirit. We need a civil war in our community to beat down the coons and the traitors.
So,
And
Dr. Short, what exactly is a coon?
a coon is a black traitor. A coon is an immoral, degenerate, corrosive, subversive element in our community. And they can have a pussy too. Okay, it's a pork chop feminist. It's a coon. These sisters that run after white women, they're in Me Too. They'll say something if a white woman get hurt. When black women getting raped in prisons across this country, you haven't heard these bitches say a word. Like that woman that looks like a dinosaur that screwed KRS-One. Yeah, I said it about her. I don't give a damn.
Oh
She's,
Lord.
she's lucky if someone made a booty call to her. In fact, people probably, try to refuse to collect call if she called them for a booty call. I refuse the charges. The operator pulled the thing out. Remember, you could refuse the charge if someone tried to call you collect.
Yes.
I mean, if that ugly broad called me collect as a booty call, I would be. Can you disconnect my number? Put a block on that. I mean, this ugly, miserable, this ugly, fat, unsightly, mulish sisters out here who've taken either too many birth control pills or spent one too many times at Popeyes or Pizza Hut, that aren't pretty, that don't keep themselves up. And they hate black men because nobody wants them. Nobody should. Or they've killed so many babies inside of themselves, they think the world owes them just perpetual license to be ugly and nasty as they walk around.
So,
Damn that.
so by Roe v. Wade being overturned,
It
what is
should
that
be
going to do?
overturned.
So what is that going to do for us? What?
It's wonderful. Black women didn't start killing babies until it was legal. They didn't really. Black women have incrementally increased the number of abortions they've gotten once it became lawful. But even the whole thing about Roe v. Wade, one of the things that got it passed was it was alleged a white woman was raped by black men. And that's when so the whole thing is about killing black babies. And birth control can be done without killing babies. Killing babies is not health care. Killing black babies is not birth control. That's genocide. And a whole lot of black women need to repent before God for being murderers. They're worse than Nino Brown, the Purple Gang, Murder Inc., for killing all these black babies. The answer is lay down with someone that wants to form a family with you.
Hmm.
Okay, these sisters out here, not all, but many, want to try to function as if they're males with vaginas. It's never going to happen. And by the way, so there's all this suicide, drug addiction, depression, breast cancer, This abortion is a curse on our house. We must stop it. It is an act of genocide against our people. And I don't give a damn if nice looking folks with vaginas think that it's healthcare. It's not. Black men are going to have to stop being such weaklings. They act like the world's going to run out of pussy if they take a stand on a moral issue now and then. It's a shame. And then the same brothers screwing white women, Mexicans, and everybody else, and yet can't face down a loudmouth pork chop feminist who's out of order, who's nothing but a stud anyway. And if they raise kids, they weaponize them. Where the kids don't finish school, where the kids on drugs, the kids in gangs. We literally need a major, major reformation, moral, ethical revolution in our community for people to get back to understanding that God made man and woman. He said, be fruitful and multiply, not subtract and divide. We got enough people who hate our guts that are subtracting us. We have enough traitors. We have enough pork chop feminists and sellout people that are bringing us down. We can't make eugenics the perfect race. This is the stuff that inspired Hitler and Stalin. And it seems like the bastion of race suicide is all this black girl tragic bullshit in the land. And little weak niggas who want to act like they pro-female and they ain't paying child support. They beat more women than Muhammad Ali won fights in the ring.
So, what do you tell those people that constantly try to convince us that racism doesn't exist, especially black people?
Well, Tiger Woods didn't think it existed. Tiger Woods used to, you notice when he got arrested and they called him an African American or Black American, Tiger Woods has never again used that cabination shit. Every stupid black person is one traffic stop away from a nightstick conversion. And by the way, I'm just telling you, that white dude that shot those people, as white people feel that they are a shrinking minority in the country, they're going to be doing more to remind people that they're black. I mean, I'm almost thankful to the racist element of MAGA, because everybody in MAGA ain't racist, that they're the only people keeping it real with black folks. The liberals are manipulating them. They legalize weed, legalize dope, legal trans, all the other white liberal commie leftist people. They're killing black people with a smile. It's the white people with the skull on their face, with the negative look. They're the only people saying, "Hey, look, you're from Africa. Go back to Africa. You black. I hate you." I prefer them. That's what I grew up with. The reason I know who I am. I mean, look, I walk out the house and people scream, "Go back to Africa," when I was a kid. There's no way I didn't know I wasn't black. I mean, their parents would teach them, "You're from this. He's supposed to be your slave. If you were born 100 years ago, you'd own him. You don't have to play with him." I grew up with people that were very honest. I wish everybody black grew up like where I did, where white folk put trash in your yard, or they would take their kids out of school if they saw too many blacks in the classroom. Our people need to be reminded who they are. And so anything that reminds us, since a lot of us insist on having a psychotic amnesia, hard head leads to a soft ass, as my chemistry teacher would say, then let them learn. I've learned to be quiet, sit back and watch somebody get dogged. Then all of a sudden discover they're black. And, we got a rate of suicide going up in this country. Not that I want anyone to do it. But, if all the coons took themselves out, can you imagine what a great life we'd have as a people?
Be safe.
Yeah, I mean, if the black people that are traitors just went somewhere, if they all moved to Sweden or Finland, leave us the hell alone. We could make it without our scum, the people bringing us down. I don't want everybody to be around me. I don't want everybody in my race. I want winners. I want fighters. I want people with dignity. I want people who like their hair, their nose, their eyes. I'm sick and tired of self-hating traitors. If they jump off a building, who cares? They want to sell dope, don't want to go to PTA, don't want to wipe the crusties out of their behind. And yet we're supposed to save them the minute that they have an encounter with reality. It's something for nothing. I don't buy it. We need to put a premium on what it means to be Black. I'm not ashamed. It's always perplexed me. I never felt inferior, even when you got jumped in school, or people called you nigger, or the teacher wouldn't call you and your hand was raised. I believe that everything that God made in the Bible is good. I'm good. I don't need the approval of another group of people that would kill Jews and Indians and wipe out the buffalo. Why, pardon my language, why the fuck would their opinion matter to me? And so I'll tell you something. Biggest problem with Black people, they ain't Christians or Muslims. They worship white people. They figure they've been able to sink their boot in our ass for 400 years. They must be gods. We worship them. We covet them. I don't, but most of us do.
They're
And we're
facing the money.
a bunch of sick fucks. Well, money comes out of the enslavement of our people. You love them for what they stole from your ancestors. What a psychotic clusterfuck.
And for those people that are listening out there in this fire session, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. Show some love by hitting that Cash App button right up top of the chat box there. Show this brother some love here. This is Dr. Randy Short here, and Dr. Short. Can you explain or give us some tidbits on how feminism ruined the Black community?
Yes, feminism has its main thing has been telling Black women that all Black men are bad, that being a mother is bad. They've told women that they're miserable, they've never had anything. Look, I come from two of my families. One family is led by men, one family is led by women. My great grandmother had businesses, farms. Well, this idea that Black women didn't have nothing. The only time Black women didn't have anything was when they were owned by white women. White women owned 45% of the slaves. I've got a book right here. They were her property. Pick up the damn book and learn that white women own almost half the slaves. Sorry ass Black women who want to sleep and lick the vaginas of white women. Okay, want to revise history that white women were all cool and they had nothing to do and it was just white men. That's bullshit. When white men died, who do you think they left the damn slaves, the chattel property to? To their white wives and daughters. Feminism is a lie. Feminism, by the way, there's Luciferian feminism, which basically says that Satan is the liberator of women.
Wow.
So feminism is hostile to the family. Feminism blames Black men. In fact, the early feminists that worked with Frederick Douglass called Black men apes. They've been in the forefront of fighting against freedom for Black people. So what the feminists have offered Black women is lesbianism, and they can murder their babies and they can divorce Black men. They don't offer jobs or opportunities. You look at a Black woman, take Kamala Harris. Did she get any white female support? No. Shirley Chisholm, did she get any white feminist support really when she ran for president? No, they stabbed her in the back. Black women, dumbass Black women, should I say, pork chop feminist Black women, traitor Black women, imagine that white women are their friends. And they imagine that every Black man is a deadbeat abuser. He's all Black men are rapists and cruel. It's basically a blood libel against Black men. Now, let me make this clear. Women should and must have rights to everything that they're supposed to have. Let me make this clear. There was a women's movement where women, the right to vote, decent treatment, pregnancy leave, all this stuff that women should have to live as human beings with dignity, I support 1,000,000%. But I do not support the dismemberment of the Black family. I do not support the murder of the unborn Black children. I don't think motherhood is bad. I don't think that raising children is a waste of time. I don't think that a woman has to be in the workforce to have value. She can, or if she wants to. If she doesn't, she wants to stay home and have a baby bite on her nipples. That's her problem. That's her choice. And but feminism has been evil. I listen to feminism every day. When you hear people on TV, they talk about politics. They talk about women of color voters. They talk about Black women. They don't ever divide up any other group of people and constantly say, they're like constantly licking the clitoris of Black Democrat female voters. We get Black women. What about Black men? How are they voting? Most Black men are voting Democratic. That's stupid too, but you never hear it. And you never hear Black women say, hey, wait a minute, what about Black men? Latino women are loyal to Latino men. White women are loyal to white men. Feminism has made Black women almost to a person traitors to the Black community. They're with the gays, they're with the trans, they're with the illegals, but they're not with their brothers.
Mm.
I hate it. I hate, HATE. Okay, that's my respect. Feminism, the way it is now, it's toxic. It's weaponized against Black folks. Look at it. They had the stores and churches shut, but they left the abortion clinics open so Black women could continue to get 4 out of 10 abortions in this country.
Jeez.
What the fuck, Black women?
Mm.
And it's in the church. It's bullshit in the church. Now you got all these studs trying to talk like men and letting their chin hair grow out. And have you seen some like mannish looking broads in church with big puffy sleeves on? Come on. I hate it. What's wrong with femininity? I like when a woman looks feminine. I like the Supremes. I like the 3 degrees. I like when Black women look like women. Niggas' hair shorter than mine. Got broads walking around with men's shoes and stuff on. When a man wears women's clothes, he gets called a transvestite. When a sister wears men's clothes, she's called a professional. I hate the double standard in the Black community. Black women need to return to Black womanhood. And
Yeah.
Black men need to stop saying, well, I'm going to get some pussy. I don't care if she's got on my drawers or my socks. I've never seen a weaker group of men. A Black man can screw 10 times a day and he's afraid he's going to run out. And I'm going to tell you, my cousin had a baby with this dude who got, I think, killed by his white girlfriend had him killed. All these dumbass Black men think that their dick is a GPS system to get them through life. It's not true. You need to use your head. You need to know your history. You need to value. And by the way, the only wealth that Black men have are righteous Black women and the children. And the only wealth that Black women have are the good Black men. The sorry ass, Mr. Color Purple type, no good nigga that belongs in a chain gang. We Black men don't like them either. We absolutely must fight. And feminism is a disease of the soul. And simpism, where Black dude will say anything and they'll say anything to get some pussy and they bisexual. I'm like, damn. And he can't figure out which hole, as long as it's a hole he can slide into and not be responsible.
Oh, we got plenty of simps in these spaces.
Oh my God, well, DC is full of simps. Obama was a simp.
Yep.
And who else is a simp? Just, oh my God, DC. It's
Michael Eric Dyson, he's turning it up a notch.
well, yeah, but look, his wife looks like Woodsy Owl. You ever who don't believe that bitch does look like Woodsy Owl. And he's been cheating on her. I mean, I'm seriously, her shoulders are broader than Fridge Perry.
Oh, so that sipping paid off, huh?
But I could see her. She could probably like throw a football 2 miles, man. I mean, it's just
Wow. Now, we didn't get to talk about education because you really have a passion about that.
I
Um,
don't know if I have a passion about education. I
not
would tell you
anymore.
right, well,
Change.
we have a lot of miseducation. If I
Break
had
that
to
down
do,
for us.
look, what Black people should be striving for is control and ownership. Bill Gates doesn't have a degree, and a whole bunch of these other rich billionaires don't have degrees. You know what? Education for many of our people is a way to make ourselves more acceptable to white people. We go. I'm an example of it. You go and you get all this education, and you go to the very people who think you shouldn't exist, or you should go back to Africa, that you're intellectually inferior, and you ask them, employ me. Dear racist, existential Nazi, can I have enough money to live on working for you?
So we don't need any
Instead,
more. We don't need any more doctors and lawyers
I
and
never
scientists.
said that. I never said that. I said that we need to be in control. If you're a lawyer, you work for yourself, typically. If you're a doctor, you can work for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We need Black people that create opportunities for themselves, not to try to sell our labor or barter our labor with people who see us as expendable appendages of an old order. Okay, when I tell you that it used to be your waiters and all in DC were Black, now they're Latino. They didn't even have to speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Construction, all the stuff, we're being replaced. They don't want to hire us even when we work for low wages. I have an associate that was trying to get a job just washing dishes, and the person wouldn't take him.
Mm.
Okay, they'll get a Latino, even if the person would work for as little as a Latino would. It's about removing us from the economy. We have to interject ourselves back into, and the strategy shouldn't be what my dumb ass was told. I go to school, have this huge student debt. Uh, a foreigner can come and work for $40,000 a year as a teacher, right? I can't do that and pay loans, right? And the folks don't want to pay you. You have a lot of education. Look, here in DC, and I'm certain it's true everywhere else, Black folks with PhDs are still 2.5 times as likely to be unemployed as whites with PhDs. It's rigged. We have to have our own. You don't share a vagina with another man, right? You want your own, okay? We have to have our own economy. Black Wall Street wasn't about Black folks going to the white community looking for work. Blacks in Durham, North Carolina were not seeking work from white people, weren't seeking trying to get all this education to impress racist white people that think that if you did go to Harvard or Yale, it's through affirmative action. They'll move the goalposts so you can go to the best schools. Well, you went through affirmative action,
Mm. Somebody
right?
in the chat said that if you're in DC, they would like to have tea with you.
Well, they can have. I mean, my email is the same as my PayPal, wrandyshort at Gmail.
That's in the description box, people.
Yes. So no, and we talk to people. Look, in DC, when you see a Black man with a job downtown, a lot of times they're gay. You will not see a big, robust Black man with a job half the time. Well, the people be intimidated. They're afraid if they touch him on the behind, he may knock their teeth out or something like that. We need our own. We must, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you, there's a group of bitches I need to talk about. Uh, and those bitches are Black men. Black men hate each other more than that white dude that shot those people at the Tops grocery store in Buffalo.
Mm.
We've got to stop hating each other's guts as Black men. Uh, he hates you if you're gay. He hates you if you're bi. If you're straight, your competition for pussy. He hates you twice as much if you're gay or you're bi. What the fuck is with us? And
Now,
I'm not asking for the person to be gay or bi. You would think, well, if I'm straight and you're straight, you're not mad at me. But there's not enough pussy for two. We should be as competitive with other ethnic groups of people and business and everything else as we fight with each other over pussy, which is an abundance of. Sorry ass. I mean, black men just fight. I've been all over the world, and I've noticed this that all the men all over the world learn to work with the ones who are in their ethnic group. Black American men are going to have to understand that they're all brothers, and I use a term. It's called brother fuckers. We have a brother fucker culture we have to get rid of. I don't hate you, brother. So you notice if you call me, I ask you, I help you, brother artist. I don't fight you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask you how much you get from your wife or how much money you got. If you call and ask me for something, I try to do it for you.
Right.
I've never met you in person. Do you know I've never met Dewan? I can tell you all these people I've never met in person. If they call and ask, we help. This is what Jews, every group of people that survive and successful, the men cooperate. They're not petty. The world's not going to run out of pussy, but it might if you have all your kids aborted. Sorry ass black men. Man, she took the burden off me. She took care of it. She went down there. When are we going to stop being bitches? When are we going to stop being Nazis and Klansmen towards each other? And I don't need to have your you know what in my orifices for me to get along with you. You
Right.
know, it blows my mind. I'm going to just tell you, as an adult black man, I notice, and I'm saying this here in DC, black folk who are into the confused sex stick together around their confusion. But I ask straight black men and straight black women, how come pussy and dick loving heterosexual black men and black women have less unity than unnatural black men and black women? Do you realize when I was the gay folk get jobs for each other. Gay folk be doing stuff. They don't even stay together. They kill each other, give disease to, but they help each other out. Why is it that a black man thinks if you like pussy and he likes pussy, you're his enemy?
That goes into Kevin Samuels. What's your take on the whole Kevin Samuels thing that you've been hearing?
I think that Kevin Samuels was a catalyst for people to think. If nothing else, whether you agree with him or not, he was making people think. In particular, it's a crime to make black women think. Black men and a significant number of black women think that black men's purpose in life is to flatter and lie to black women and hope to get some pussy out of it. We need people that tell folks the truth. You're fat, you're overweight, you've got 15 kids by 900 men. We need to have these conversations, whether it hurts or not. And Terrence Samuels or Kevin Samuels, I'm sorry, was calling black men out. Black men need to be cussed out too. Everybody needs to be cussed out. We're underperforming. We're suiciding as a people. And anyone that gets people to think about that, even if, there's no perfect messenger, as Brother Dewan says, but they're perfect messages. If he was telling the sisters, lose some weight, if you're 5'2" and you weigh 250, you are not thick. You're a blob of protoplasm that please don't put a thong on. I mean, if you're a black man and you're on drugs and you got kids all over the place, you are not a find. It doesn't matter if you eat Viagra like M&Ms.
Yeah.
So Kevin Samuels in the manosphere, wherever anything good, because certain things can be toxic. One, I repeat, the good black women are golden. The righteous black women, the Fannie Lou Hamers, those folks are golden. The only true wealth or power that black men have, other than their unity as brothers, are our righteous sisters that got our backs. So when I say something negative, it's not about the good black women. I love them. If you hung around me, you'll find out about half or more of my friends are female. I love me some nice sisters that you can just be around. I mean, it's not even about getting on top of someone. I got a friend. I just love her so much, man. I just want to hear her voice, talk to her. I don't care. She can call and tell me all her problems, how bad her kids and shit. I just love her. She makes me feel like a king hearing her voice. Only a certain type of black woman can do that for me. White women can't. In fact, I just tell you, when I was in the hospital, white women sexually abused me, and I just got a confirmation call. They sexually abused another black man. You know, when you go to these hospitals, these people will try to catheterize you in your penis without anesthesia. They stabbed me in my penis, man. I'm going to sue them if I can get legal representation. That shit hurt.
We got
And
Dennis Sterling here, but I don't know how much he charge.
well, I mean, maybe he does a DC. Somebody should sue them. I told them no, they did it anyway. These bitches tore my clothes off and shit. The nurses, they do this to all the black men that they come to there. I'll say this. Also, this white woman was trying to molest my brother and I when I was young. So I've never understood black men running after white women. I've been more standoffish or circumspect with other groups of women. I trust black women that are good more. I don't trust, I don't know, they're working, you know, their brother could be a Klansman, Grand Dragon, or Nazi, Schultzstaufen. I prefer to know what the hell I'm doing with. And if it's not a black American woman, it's a black Brazilian, it's somebody black who's not connected like on a familial basis with white supremacy and black people being subordinate. I'm just telling you, I see all these black men, and when they have half-breed kids and the mama doesn't know how to groom their hair, they're all proud and shit. It's crazy. Black men are a fucking basket case too. We need Jesus, man. We need God. We need our souls saved. And damn, you can't even go to church because niggas don't talk about sin. All they do is they're looking at a woman's butt in their pocketbook. And they like a fat pocketbook more than a fat behind. They're so greedy, especially with COVID, with the churches closed. And
Now,
what time is it, brother?
for
Okay.
those, oh yeah,
I,
we got about a good 6 more minutes.
right. Does anyone have questions?
So anyone, if anybody want to come up and have a question or two, we're really pressed on time.
Right. And we can go, we can pick it up again. And um, we can talk serious. I think I'm being very serious about stuff. My question to everyone is, while I'm talking about serious stuff, who's laughing? Please give a thumbs up or a heart if you've laughed at least a couple of times, because I know I'm trying to find out if I try to make, when I talk to people about stuff, to add Richard Pryor and Malcolm X together and Stokely.
But I wanted you to get more into because I was trying to get to the Buffalo
Okay,
situation.
let's do the Buffalo real fast. The Buffalo is basically an upstate version of what's happened downstate when the white guy came from Baltimore and was stabbing black people. It's real simple. There are white folks on 4chan, dark web, that have plans. It's called the racial holy war. They want to do something to set off a racial war. They've been trying to do it for years. The government's ignored it largely, and it starts with a particular sorry ass individual by the name of Barack Obama. When a white gentleman at the Department of Homeland Security mentioned that these people had infiltrated law enforcement and were going to begin to do things to create a race war in the country, and Obama suppressed the report. All of you coons that voted for Obama means that you voted for someone that would do nothing to protect your lives of you, your children, or your families. So this man went up. He's 18 years old. They've been watching him for a while. He shot 13 people in Buffalo, New York, including one person that had some kind of position, a woman that's 86 years old, and 10 of them have died. It's being seen as a racial case. Thank God, because a lot of times it's not. Biden has spoken out, but I'll tell you what black folks need to do from here on out is when someone hurts us, we need to demand that that person be executed, and that we don't want to wait 10 years for them to sit around and get raped in the booty like Dylan Rolfe, who, by the way, tried to hook up with me in March 2015. And I warned people about him, and sure enough, I was right. He killed 9 black people and shot 13 altogether. This guy shot 13 and killed 10. And the black dude that they said shot the people in the subway shot 10 and killed nobody. This was like last month.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I believe he's a Caribbean. That's not the first time a Caribbean has shot 10 people on the public transit. The last one was Colin Ferguson, I think the name was.
He sure was. Yeah, I remember
I
him.
said, no, they don't. When Caribbeans shoot up people, they don't talk about it because they wanted to be a black American. The same with this guy named Aaron Alexis, a Trinidadian, shot up a bunch of people, about 10 people, at the Navy Yard within the last 6 years in D.C. So this is a racial terrorist. We have a racial terrorism problem. By the way, many of our racial terrorists in the United States are supported by Nazis in the Ukraine. Don't be surprised if some of the weapons that the United States sends to the Ukraine end up in the hands of white racial terrorists in America who are supported by Nazi racial terrorists in the Ukraine. They've been supporting, they've been helping, they've been allowing people to go to Ukraine and train to fight against black folks. There's even a racial terrorist group in Russia called the Black 100. People hate our guts. The answer is black people need to arm themselves, arm themselves against black traitor, predatory, subversive criminals and drug dealers and traffickers, and against people outside our community. The answer is guns. And who are the big voices against guns? A lot of stupid, dumb fuck black Democratic women and men, but the same folk who believe in killing the unborn are against you and I having a heater to keep us safe at night. What the fuck?
And we got a person here named AB Media. He came to ask you a question or two. So go ahead, ask Dr. Short your question.
I'm going, Dr. Short.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
What is your thoughts on, well, as you would call them, pork chop feminists dancing on Kevin Samuel's grave?
Well, we've got a real issue in our community of black male misogyny, black male hatred. By the way, the majority of the babies aborted are black and male. Feminism teaches black male hatred. And there's a black feminist strain that teaches black male hatred. And the hatred of black men is the norm in our community. I've seen it in church. I've seen it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And black men hate black men. So if hatred of black men, if we hate each other as black men as much as white supremacists and others do it, and we encourage it among our women, where women say a black man ain't shit, you don't hear black men say black women ain't shit.
Nope.
Okay, but black men tolerate it. Black men are going to have to put their foot down on that. Mexican women get raped and Latino women get raped at trees, have their draws to trees, they rape them, they screw the little girls. This is a fact. You'll never see Latino women on TV or radio trashing all Latino men. Black men are going to have zero tolerance on pork chop feminism. They have to fight it as a war without mercy. A black woman that would drag all black men is a traitor to the black community. I don't care if it's Stacey Abrams or Shirley Chisholm. I don't care who the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
Black men need to start fighting these women like they're enemies. Let me tell you something. If white women that aren't loyal to white men pay a penalty,
Mm-hmm.
Vietnamese, we're the only people that say, well, if you have a pussy, you can be a traitor to your community. I might get some pussy one day, even if they only date white men. Why are we like that? Why are black men such beggars? And I'm not saying I don't want the woman. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why does she have no accountability, no rules applied to her? And a lot of brothers figure if I just let the women run free, I can get me some ass. Well, the point is we're getting lots of ass and our numbers are shrinking because we're killing our children. We fuck a lot, but we don't love much.
Yeah. My next question: what do you think? What's your thoughts about false prophet Jamal Bryant hating on Kevin Samuels last weekend? I just
Well,
looked,
I
and he's
love it. I
backpedaling this
saw
week.
the taxes. I love it. Look, Jamal Bryant's a piece of shit. His mama's a stud. His family's,
Ooh,
well, she assaulted me. I fuck her. Okay.
ooh, okay.
Anyway, yeah, I did it. Yes, I just went there. Okay. Jamal Bryant's family is corrupt. The AME Church is corrupt. It's been corrupt since its inception. It wasn't created to uplift Black people. It was created because some coon ministers realized that the church that they put up in Philadelphia would be in the hands of the white ministers that beat their asses in the white church. And the only way to hold on to real estate is to go independent. They didn't say, hey, look, we're Black. We love each other. We love God. Let's go our own way. Instead, they're like, let's stay with these white people, even though they hate our guts. And maybe they'll see if we set up a church and we do this, that they'll accept us. And only when they learned that white people wouldn't do it, they decided to break off. And even Richard Allen, the first head of their church, stole the damn election. It's a corrupt church. It's a boule church. They've had a couple of good bishops, but for the most part, they're a big part of the problem. Remember all the AME ministers were up there with Obama with that sorry ass Amazing Grace solo that nigga did, and they're all waving their hands and all. They should have demanded hundreds of millions of dollars in restitution. South Carolina has some of the poorest Black counties in the country where Blacks live. But Obama gets to do a Soul Train Star Search solo, and the AME church is happy. You have a leader in the AME church. That guy was an AME pastor that was an up-and-coming star that actually gave a damn about the community, shot down, and they'll trade him in for a few dollars and a solo from a president that's not even a Black American.
Yeah, we got one of my partners in crime that I'll tell you about named Sister Shonda X. She's here to ask you a question, Dr. Short.
Okay, I hope she's not mad at me. Oh my God.
Oh no, not at all. Good evening, Brother Art, everybody, and Dr. Short. Glad to see that you're back well and recovering. I love to hear you speak. I have two quick questions, if I may ask.
Yeah.
The first one is, do you see Black Americans being able to establish a political action committee?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. The second part to that question is, why do you think we have not been able to collectively do that yet? And I'm not factoring in the Congressional Black Caucus.
Sister, a handful of us could do it if we wanted to. It just takes people wanting to. You know, I'm going to just tell you our inside story. You heard about the Black towns that they're supposed to have established down in Georgia?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to break you guys' hearts with the story I'm going to bring out later. It's a woman that's a distant cousin of mine who's been following me for years. She's the one that put up the money and they robbed her and they cheated her. She sued them in court. But it was one Black woman that put up hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that. And one of the reasons we don't have the unity is we don't have law and we don't have enforcement. So, sister, if you came to me and said, hey, look, let's do something in DC or whatever, and I say yes, and then I take the money, there are other Negroes that would, if you told them that I ripped you off, they would go back and try to get a piece of what I stole from you, and then they would tell you should just let it go. One of the things that our people lack is a system of law, covenant, and enforcement. Okay. When my aunt got impregnated underage, my grandfather's going to have somebody drown in the river. That person got out of town. They didn't walk around and say, yeah, I got me some. They disappeared because my grandfather, they were going to put some weights and throw that dude in the Potomac River. You understand me? We need to have laws and rules and accountability amongst ourselves. And if we had that, we could do things. You have to understand, when you talk about Black Wall Street or these Black towns out west, did you know that Black folks used to lynch Negroes that didn't do what they were supposed to do in these towns? That's part of how it worked. When you out of control, they hung you. Black folk used to hang Black people. We don't have a system of enforcement of respect. Okay. I'm trying to think of a situation. Oh yeah, well, I had an associate that raped a friend. I went to the police station with the sister. I made certain his ass has to go to jail. You don't rape a black woman. You don't steal from your neighbor. You don't sell dope to anybody. You get where I'm coming from? The old black school gangs and things used to have laws and rules which govern. The reason that you don't rob Nation of Islam stores of fruit will bust your grape. We have to have black police men and women that demand accountability and responsibility and reciprocity. Okay, Mr. Art here, if he asks me to do a show, I'm going to try to do it because if I ask him for something, he tries to help me. One of the things that we have to pray for and strive, we're not going to save everybody. We're going to lose a large number of people. I accept it. Okay. But those who want to be a people, understand being a people is volitional. You have to decide to be a people. This whole Ukrainian thing is relatively new. Ukrainians didn't always see themselves as a people. The concept of being a Ukrainian has evolved a lot over the last 150, 200 years. We've been through enough for some of us to recognize that we're a unique, distinct people, but we have a lot of folks taking us in detours. I am into reciprocal Pan-Africanism, not Pollyanna, rose lens colored glasses Pan-Africanism where we're all Africans. To hell with that. Africans don't practice that in Africa, but we have a lot of people, or we're all in the working classes. We're all workers. There are all of these different ideologies to pull us away from seeing ourselves as a distinct people. But if enough of us, it doesn't take many, agree to be a people with rules, reciprocity, accountability, and consequences if you violate the group. If enough of us begin to do these things, things would change tomorrow.
And
it's not hard. It's not impossible. Nothing's too great for God. Nothing's too great for God's people. Sister, you're one of God's people. He made you. He breathed in you. Other people do this. I watch Black people, the Japanese who got reparations from the United States government in the 1980s, got the whole concept of being paid for being in concentration camps in the United States from the Black Studies programs in the University of California system, from Black people. The movement for the Quebecois or the Quebecois in Canada, they were down studying Black people's history. They have power in Canada off of our story. Why can't our suffering and our pain and our blood cause enough of us to become a critical mass to lift us up? Why can't we? I know we can. I believe it. And I'm saying to you, sister, more than a handful of us went down. They had a $10 million program to legalize prostitution. They're going to get our women and boys and girls caught up in this. And me and 6 other people, Black, went down and fought them. Believe it or not, the city council voted against legalizing prostitution. I was told by the wife of the head of the Salvation Army, the most compelling testimony against legalizing prostitution, brothel owning, pimping, and all that in DC came from me in 3 minutes. I'm underemployed, living with my mother in my 50s. We Black folks have a $1 trillion economy. If some of that were used to bring us together by, like my same distant cousin, Sister Sean, who put the $300,000 because she had a vision of Black independence and all. She just should have had some people to kick the asses of the people to make certain that they didn't rip her off. We can too, we must. If we're going to survive, we're going to have to do exactly what you're saying we must do. And the key to it, listen to this, the key to it is if Black women want it, Black men don't have a choice but to push for it. Thank God for sisters like you. Thank God for my sister Sean. It's a sister that was going to do this stuff in Georgia. We need our women. I'm for strong, intelligent, pro-Black, pro-family, pro-woman empowerment, pro-Black men, sisters. And I also want, by the way, I'm for brothers being for each other, but not in each other's orifices. Help each other out. We can do this with God and each other. I really believe the stories of Gideon. I believe the stories of a handful of people can do anything. It's 4 young men that started the student protest down in North Carolina, but even before them, 3 Black women started the protest in D.C. in 1944. Almost 20 years before those Black men that you hear about, 3 Black women started protesting Jim Crow segregation in D.C. 3 Black women started it. My adopted grandmother beat up 2 cops in 1944 down in Virginia. Oh, that's where Rosa Parks got up her idea not to give up her seat. One person can make a difference. And this is why I hate feminism. It's dividing Black women from Black men, making it seem as if there is a Black male race and a Black female race. No, there's only a Black race. With us all in it together, we either rise together or we sink and we get destroyed together. And we'll go down because the most educated people in the Black world is the Black American woman. If our sisters don't leverage and understand and come to themselves and leave the prodigality of feminism, they will have been the smartest, best educated women in the world, and their people were destroyed.
So how we doing on time, Dr. Short?
I need to check in because I have a mama-son date. We're going to watch Gaslit before she goes to bed. And since Mom is my protector, my defender that was in the hospital. In fact, I have to just give a tribute. I love you, Mommy. When I was in the hospital and the people were mistreating me, the one thing I kept saying was, Mommy. The one thing, I thank God for the nurse that could read my lips, the Latino one that helped. There was even a transsexual Filipino that was helping me, but those white women were a trip. Black men running after white women blindly. I'm not saying that there isn't a white woman that could be a good wife to a Black man. That's not what I'm saying. But my God, people, my God, Black brothers, the world is bigger than the mucous membranes on your you-know-what. Use your mind. The greatest woman in the world is a Black woman that knows who she is. To throw her away for some Dunkin' Donut trailer park tramp and think because your kids got green eyes like some goblin from Halloween, you're out of your mind, brother.
Because Sister Shonda had one more question.
Oh, well, go ahead. Well, I'm going to take time for her. I'm going to give her some of Mom's time.
I'm not going to take up your time. I'll respect your time.
No. You do one more. I will do that for you. I mean, I thank God for you. God, I love sisters like you. Please, you can ask another question. I'll just hang on.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate the response. And salute to your mom and other Black women who know who they are as well. My second question may be a little controversial, but I wanted to get your quick thoughts on. You mentioned Trayvon Martin earlier and his murder in 2012. Personally, I take issue with the actions of Ben Crump. I'll just take that ownership for myself. Do you see him more so as a advocate for African Americans that have been abused or have been murdered through the
Can I save you some time?
Yes.
You know, I've met him on more than one occasion. Aside from reminding me of Curious George, Yeah, I said that. Please laugh. Um, he's become a very rich man. I've seen them get more money than I've seen them get justice.
And that was my question. That
They
was the
they can
question I
print
was going to ask.
they
Yeah.
can print, and we're at a point where most of the dollars printed are worthless. I just saw a black man paralyzed and going to give him $10 million. That's not enough. The thing is that your city of Los Angeles, certain cities, Chicago, have now allocated the budget. They're willing to give out so much money for blacks that they kill, which means that they've adjusted for when they get busted, that they can put some money out when a black is murdered. The answer isn't throwing money at cadavers. The issue is that we want justice and we want reparations without anybody getting killed. So I call him the carbon copy opposite. Perry Mason wins every case. He loses everyone, and he's black, and Perry Mason is white. That's how I feel about it. I've met his wife and his kid. I want the people, give them the money, whatever, but I want justice. I want freedom. He runs with Al Sharpton. I don't trust Al Sharpton. He's an agent. Al Sharpton did nothing about the sister of his one of his board members being shot dead right in front of the U.S. Capitol, and the people who shot the sister with the baby in the car getting a standing ovation. When Al Sharpton's lawyer was gang raped on his birthday in his office, that woman was forced to suck up being gang raped. In fact, one of the people that was with Crump when the brother of Floyd George spoke in Minneapolis is the man that raped the black woman attorney that worked for Al Sharpton. I have real problems, sister. It's you can win all the money in the world. Money is important, but we want principles, freedom, justice. We want the money and the justice. We want to see the people go to jail. In fact, we should want death penalties for racists that kill our boys, women, and girls. A money settlement, I mean, and of course he gets a piece of it, so it's a great hustle. And so he's chased more ambulances than the Dalmatians have chased fire trucks. But the issue is the killings continue. And it's only the high profile ones that you hear about. They're still killing people. And the killing that you don't hear about, sister, is that anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 black men, and some of them women, are murdered in prisons every year in this country. And it's no discussion before they even get to trial. How come they don't take some of that on? Why aren't they just doing something this stuff? Why can't they use some of the money to have hearings on Capitol Hill where we have federal laws and things in place to have people executed if they put their hands on us? Why not throw some of that money that they've gotten behind something? Look, the Brown versus Board of Education case, a white dude put down a few $100,000 in the 1920s. This man has millions of dollars. Why not create something real that stops it? I think that this is a cottage industry for select black people who hustle. I don't, and by the way, I want legal representation. Anything good that the man does, God bless him. But to me, I take us too seriously for us to become an industry. In fact, the new slave trade is what the Boule, which he's a part of, they're the new African chiefs that let us be sold and exploited by the white majority and honorary whites. That's how I feel, sister.
I concur with you. Thank you for taking my question.
And we
You're
have
welcome. I'm honored to take your question. Thank you for asking that question. I'm not impressed. Charles Hamilton Houston was my family's attorney in the 1950s. This man would take payment in steaks and eggs and chicken and lamb shank for people too poor to pay his services, but he fought for them to win for justice. I mean, the father of black radical legalism was my family's attorney, as was Charles Drew, my family's practitioner. We have great people. who put it all down. I don't see these people putting it all down. They're celebrities. They get paid. It's about money. It's about their visibility. And by the way, he has enough money. He should work on his diction. Diana Ross got new teeth put in. Johnny Mathis got new teeth. I mean, I'm telling you, Stymie from Little Rascals had better diction than this dude had.
Touche,
I, I,
brother. Touche.
I said it. I said it. I said it. Okay, now y'all got to let me go. Mommy needs me, and I
Okay.
thank God he spared my
Sorry
life.
for
At
that.
least I can cook and feed my mother, if nothing else. And my mother's a real Black woman.
Okay. Well, AL, maybe. Oh, I guess he took off. Okay. Well, because AL is one of your biggest fans. He's always the first one here when
Well, you should. Well, we should have
you know,
another
you know,
conversation. We can have more conversations. I just
you
want
gotta
to see. I want to see Gaslit with Mom. And y'all got to see this gaslit to see how white men treat their women. The feminists don't tell you these white women are property to white men. But you know what? They're so proud to be white. They accept being chattelized by their men. The Black woman is far more free, even with the tea cake, sorry, half-ass dude, than a white woman is with her man. And the
mm,
feminists have the sisters hating their brothers and having the sisters miserable. And I'll tell you, and they've done the research, Black men do more child care and house chores than any other group of men in the country.
okay.
Okay. But you
So
don't hear that. You only hear what's wrong with Black men. And at the same point, I want to say of Kevin Samuels, because people only heard when he talked about women. He used to give Black men hell. God bless him. I give Black men hell. If you get to know me, I've gone off on brothers about how they're sorry and how they don't do what they're supposed to do. We have to, as Black men and women, call each other out. But I have to say this: we should always have love when we call each other out. And perhaps people didn't feel the love from Kevin Samuels that was there. We have to often remind people, I'm going to say something you don't like, but I love you. Okay. And that's why I take the sister's question. I want people to think I'm just out rude and nasty, but it's not true. I'm a gentleman. I respect my sisters.
mm,
And I grieve over the division in our community. It's awful. We must stop this. We have to help each other. So when we criticize our sisters, our brothers, let them know that you love them still. I let everybody know I'm a mama's boy. I let everybody know I'm a grandmama's boy. And I got to tell you one story, a Black woman's story, so people understand. My auntie used to sing with Marvin Gaye. Her name is Kim Weston. And when I was in the hospital, unfortunately, one of these coon ass Black women told her to get out of the hospital after she had waited 2 hours. She's 82 years old, came all the way from Detroit to see me in the hospital in DC. And when they basically threw my grandmother out of my auntie out of the hospital, I flipped. My blood pressure jumped about 80 points. And I had to explain to the nurses, I'm not much of a Black man if I let you disrespect the elder woman in my family, even if you have me in restraints in this hospital bed. You can't do that to a woman in my family. Not my family. I don't care. You may have drugs. You got this tube up in me. Uh, you're going to do right by my damn aunt. I'll bring this whole hospital down.
Mm.
I raised so much hell. Let me tell you what ultimately happened. And this is why, although we say ADOS or FBA, we have to learn how to work with other people when we can. The head nurse on the ICU unit was Filipino. I have family in the Philippines. And I told her that before. And when she was trying to figure out which medication, I said, you can't give me medication to calm me down. This is 400 years of racial abuse and trauma. And you can't make me feel good how you treated my auntie in here. You treated her like a field nigger, slave bitch. And I can't sit here and be happy. My heart, I mean, I don't care if I die. You can't do this to anyone that's mine. And I said to the nurse, hey, nurse, you from the Philippines, right? Says, didn't I tell you I had family in the Philippines? I says, do you know why I have family in the Philippines? I says, I tell you why. When the men in my family went to serve the Spanish-American War, they thought they were fighting for your freedom. When they went there and the white soldiers were calling the Filipinos niggas and killing them, they quit and joined Aguinaldo, and they never came back to this country. Says, you and I have been fighting these people for 120 years. Do you know this Asian woman went off, started cussing at the white people in the hospital room?
Wow.
She flipped and started saying it was racism that happened. Because, do you understand, we have to learn how to reach. That woman demanded that an apology be, I mean, it was a trip. After that, everybody was afraid of me because they figured he's manipulative. He made that Asian woman go off on the white people. I didn't ask her, but I touched her. I reminded her that the United States killed 1 in 6 Filipinos. Most people don't know that. They killed 1 million Filipinos. They murdered them. And of the few people that sided with the Filipinos were a few black soldiers from the US who defected to help the Filipinos fight against genocide. When I said that to her, she snapped because it's true. She's just never met anybody black in America that knows their history. We're an international, spiritual, powerful people. And everybody's got a power. Our women are powerful. Our children are powerful. There's nobody like us. Never has been, never will be. But we have to see that. It says everything that God made was good. If the creator of the universe took the time to breathe on the embryo that your mom and dad had, there's nothing greater than you. I gotta go. I need my mommy.
Okay.
I love y'all. I love you. Bless this righteous sister. I
Okay.
mean, be nice to her because they have so many of our sisters confused.
Okay. Oh, and you still have your channel up, Dr. Short?
My channel is, it's still up. I think it's Randy Lancaster Short. And I'm going to be doing more. But got to do something about this Roe v. Wade stuff.
Okay.
And I got to do something about this. So, yeah, you be blessed. You be blessed. And don't. And tell them about the 2 books. I got a book called Slavery's Mastery, and I got a book, Spartacus, the Real Cory Booker Story. It's on Amazon and it's on hollismedia.net. And I've got a put together book on lead poisoning. I started. They're poisoning our people all over the country. In fact, I was in the hospital because I got poisoned. Pray for me. I'm hoping I get a turn. I believe I was poisoned at my place of work, and a lot of our people working in places where it's unsafe. Apparently, the toxicity was so bad it blew the valves off my heart. So I had internal bleeding and all of this. I thank God for my mother. I thank God for all the people that prayed. I mean, didn't have to be here, so I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
Here for a reason.
We're glad you're here. And AL, why don't you say some last words to Dr. Short because he really has to go, AL. I guess he's the L. Okay. I guess he's not able to say anything. So I appreciate you, Dr. Short, for coming up and looking forward to having more deep and informative discussions. It's been an honor.
Yeah, and God bless all the righteous sisters like my mama and Shonda. Okay, y'all be strong. It was an honor. So I have to let you go, and I also have to make my cat, whose name's Selfish.
Okay, well, tell
Oh,
Mom and say hello.
right.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
We'll call you.
Bye bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. So again, you guys, please hit that. Still hit the like button. I need more likes, even for the playbacks. Also hit Dr. Short's Cash App. He gave you guys a lot of gems, very important stuff. we're going to be doing more things. I'm going to be bringing in more distinguished guests coming in on Sundays. We missed out on Dr. Dunbar. I was very curious what he had to ask, but again, we'll have more. So keep on the lookout for that. And you had any last words, Brother Al? Oh, he had to wipe the flour out of his hand from frying chicken up. Oh man, but all this information, Dr. Short's information, is in the description box. So just and plus, God, I forgot because I didn't know because his channel keeps. Sometimes his channel is on and sometimes it's off. I'm like, geez. But anyhow, you guys, appreciate you guys coming through. You could be somewhere else, but you're here with the kid. So I guess I see you guys on Tuesday. Peace and hair. Oh, wait a minute. Shout out to I had some couple of super chats here. Shout out to Snuggles for wanting to start some mess. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm Rick. She wanted to drop the link so somebody can yell at each other. I guess that's how they see us black people, huh? And shout out to Brotherly Love for the super chat as well. Yeah, I'm Rick. All right, so I think I acknowledged as many people as I could. And again, shout out to all those people that are supporting Kevin. We're gonna try to mention his name every time, at least I go on live. So, and reach out to all those people that have been shot over there in Buffalo, New York, to their families, and pray for justice. All right. So, once again, thank you for coming. Peace and hair grease.